Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today, a series where we briefly discuss and analyze important news of the day. Without delay, let's explore the headlines first. FSSAI has increased the maximum residue limit of pesticides in herbs and spices. The Reserve Bank of India issued master direction for asset reconstruction companies. Bhutan, along with the Tiger Conservation Coalition, recently hosted the Sustainable Finance for Tiger Landscapes conference. PwC India released a report titled Navigating India's Transition to Sustainability. Global immunizations have saved at least 154 million lives over the past 50 years, said the WHO-led study. TRAI has released recommendations on telecommunication infrastructure sharing, spectrum sharing, and spectrum leasing. Let us start with the first news for the day. FSSAI has increased the maximum residue limit of pesticides in herbs and spices. The latest order from Food Safety and Standards Authority of India has increased the MRL of pesticides from 0.01 mg per kilogram to 0.1 mg per kg. But before we delve into the implications of the decision, let's first understand what MRL is and its significance. The Food and Agriculture Organization or FAO defines MRL as the highest legally tolerable level of pesticide residue in food or animal feed. These limits are set by the Codex Alimentarius Commission, a body established jointly by the FAO and the World Health Organization in 1963 with the aim of ensuring food safety and facilitating international trade. In the Indian context, MRLs are specified under the Food Safety and Standards, Contaminants, Toxins and Residues Regulation 2011 by the FSSAI. These limits are fixed based on the field trial data received through the Central Insecticide Board and Registration Committee under the Ministry of Agriculture. While the intent behind increasing the MRL may be to align with international standards and facilitate trade, the decision has raised concerns among experts and stakeholders. One of the primary concerns is the potential for increased ingestion of pesticides into the human body, which could have adverse health effects. Moreover, there is a risk that the higher pesticide residue levels could lead to a ban on the export of Indian food items, as many countries have stricter regulations regarding pesticide residues in imported goods. As the debate surrounding this decision unfolds, stakeholders are calling for greater transparency in the field trial data used to set these limits. Additionally, there are suggestions to register more pesticides under the Central Insecticide Board and Registration Committee. It's worth noting that the FSSAI is a statutory body established under the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006 and operating under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It plays a crucial role in laying down science-based standards for articles of food and regulating their manufacture, storage, distribution and sale. As the regulatory authority responsible for ensuring food safety in India, the FSSAI's decision carries significant weight and impact for the entire food supply chain. It is imperative that the authority strikes a balance between facilitating trade and ensuring the safety of consumers, while taking into account the concerns raised by experts and stakeholders.
Moving on to the next news. The Reserve Bank of India issued master direction for asset reconstruction companies. Issued under the Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest or SARFAESI Act of 2002, the RBI's directive is a powerful tool aimed at ensuring the prudent and efficient functioning of ARCs, ultimately protecting the interests of investors. But what exactly are asset reconstruction companies or ARCs? Let's delve into the answer. ARCs are financial institutions that play a crucial role in clearing bank balance sheets by purchasing non-performing assets or NPAs, also known as bad assets. These institutions were given a resounding endorsement by the Union Budget 2021-22, with the government announcing plans to establish ARCs. They are registered by RBI under SARFAESI Act 2002. Now let's dive into the RBI's specific directives for these financial guardians. Firstly, ARCs must maintain a capital adequacy ratio of at least 15% of their total risk-weighted assets, ensuring they have the financial muscle to tackle challenging assets. Interestingly, they are prohibited from raising money through deposits, adding an extra layer of prudence. But that's not all. The RBI has also denied ARCs investments in land or buildings except for investments made for their own use at a maximum of 10% of their own funds. Now you might be wondering why all the fuss over ARCs. Well, these institutions play a pivotal role in incentivizing quicker action on resolving stressed assets, ultimately helping in better value realization. Additionally, They help bring much needed liquidity into the economy and improve banks' valuations, enhancing their ability to raise market capital. As the curtain falls on this financial saga, one thing is clear. The RBI's master direction for ARCs is a game changer, promising to usher in a new era of financial stability and growth.
In our next news, Bhutan, along with the Tiger Conservation Coalition, recently hosted the Sustainable Finance for Tiger Landscapes Conference. This conference was attended by representatives from Bangladesh, Bhutan, Cambodia, China, India, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Nepal, Thailand, and Vietnam. The primary aim of this conference was threefold: to develop new financial mechanisms for tiger conservation, link tiger conservation efforts to global biodiversity and climate agendas, and involve indigenous people and local communities in the tiger conservation process. During the conference, a significant acknowledgement was made, recognizing the tiger as the emblematic species of Asia, a revered cultural and spiritual symbol. This recognition underscores the importance of tiger conservation not only from an ecological perspective but also from a cultural and spiritual standpoint. Furthermore, the participants made a collective commitment to catalyze an additional $1 billion in funding for tiger conservation by the year 2034. In line with this commitment, the United Nations Development Programme presented the Tiger Landscape Investment Fund, while the Asian Development Bank proposed the innovative concept of a tiger bond, financial instruments specifically designed to support tiger conservation efforts. The conference also emphasized the critical importance of securing the 63 vital tiger landscapes for long-term tiger recovery. If we talk about tiger conservation landscapes, then they are large blocks of habitat with low human footprint suitable for tigers to thrive. It is widely recognized that tiger landscape-specific investments are required to sustain population trends and associated benefits. It is worth noting that since 2015, the global tiger population has increased from 3,200 to approximately 4,500 in 2022, thanks to the concerted conservation efforts. The significance of conserving these tiger landscapes cannot be overstated. They serve as models for harmonious coexistence between local communities and biodiversity, encouraging carbon sequestration and ensuring the supply of ecosystem services, thereby playing a crucial role in mitigating climate change. As the conference concluded, it was evident that the global community is united in its commitment to tiger conservation. By developing innovative financial mechanisms, aligning conservation efforts with broader biodiversity and climate agendas, and involving indigenous people and local communities, we can secure a sustainable future for tigers and the landscapes they call home.
Moving ahead in the news, PwC India released a report titled Navigating India's Transition to Sustainability. The report analyzes how companies are adapting to the Business Responsibility and Sustainability Reporting or BRSR disclosures mandated by the Securities and Exchange Board of India. The BRSR framework mandated by the Securities and Exchange Board of India is a mandatory disclosure mechanism for the top 1,000 listed companies and businesses in India. From the financial year 2020-23 onwards, these entities are required to report their performance on environmental, social and governance or ESG aspects. SEBI's guidance document outlines three types of disclosures: general, management and process, and principle-wise or principle-based. The PwC India report highlighted some key findings. Notably, 51 out of 100 companies analyzed, including Nifty 50 and Next 50 listed companies, disclosed their Scope 3 data for the financial year 2023, despite it being a voluntary disclosure in the BRSR. Further, Scope 1 emissions are direct emissions from sources owned by an organization. Scope 2 covers indirect emissions from purchased electricity, heat or steam. Scope 3 includes all other indirect greenhouse gas emissions from activities outside the organization's control. Additionally, 34% of the companies have reduced their Scope 1 emissions and 29% have reduced their Scope 2 emissions. Encouragingly, 49% of companies have increased their energy consumption from renewable sources. Now let's understand about BRSR and its significance. The primary objective of BRSR is to improve compliance, consistency, and communication around non-financial disclosures. Taking a step further, SEBI introduced BRSR Core in 2023 to enhance the reliability of ESG disclosures. BRSR Core represents a subset of the comprehensive BRSR and includes a specific set of key performance indicators or metrics across ESG attributes. Further, if we talk about its significance, then it aims to enable investors, stakeholders, and the public to assess a company's sustainability efforts related to ESG aspects, thus enhancing transparency. Moreover, embracing sustainability as a key pillar of operating practices increases a company's brand value, giving them a competitive edge and higher enterprise value compared to those resistant to change. As India navigates its transition to sustainability, the BRSR framework and the PwC India report serve as crucial milestones fostering transparency, accountability, and responsible business practices.
In our next news, global immunizations have saved at least 154 million lives over the past 50 years, said the WHO-led study. This groundbreaking study analyzed the impact of the expanded program on immunization launched by the World Health Organization in the year 1974 with the noble goal of ensuring that all children in all countries benefit from life-saving vaccines. Now let's delve into the key findings of the WHO-led study. The numbers are truly staggering as vaccines have saved 6 lives every minute of every year over the past 50 years. But perhaps even more remarkable is the finding that measles vaccination had the most significant impact on reducing infant mortality. Vaccination against 14 diseases contributed to reducing infant mortality by a staggering 40% globally. Furthermore, the study revealed that for each life saved through immunization, an average of 66 years of full health were gained, highlighting the profound impact of vaccines on overall human well-being. But what factors have contributed to this remarkable increase in access to immunization? Well, it's a testament to the power of collaboration among stakeholders including governments, health agencies and organizations like UNICEF and Gavi, which have played a crucial role in expanding vaccine access globally. It is worth noting that in the year 2000, Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, was formed. This innovative partnership brought together the WHO, UNICEF and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation as core founding members, with the mission of expanding the impact of expanded program of immunization and helping the poorest countries in the world to increase vaccine coverage. Interestingly, in the year 2014, India became the first implementing country to donate to Gavi, underscoring the nation's commitment to this global cause. However, despite these impressive achievements, challenges remain. Inequitable vaccine distribution and financing, as well as under-informed and misinformed populations fearing side effects, continue to pose obstacles to achieving universal immunization coverage. In India, several initiatives have been taken to address these challenges. The mission Indradhanush, launched in the year 2014, aims to cover all children who are partially vaccinated or unvaccinated against vaccine-preventable diseases under the Universal Immunization Program, which provides free vaccines against 12 life-threatening diseases like tetanus and polio. Building on this, the intensified mission Indradhanush, launched in the year 2017, has made significant progress in vaccinating each child under 2 years of age and all pregnant women who were previously left uncovered. Additionally, the UVIN digital platform for routine immunization has been piloted to further streamline vaccination efforts. The WHO-led study serves as a powerful reminder of the transformative impact that vaccines can have on human lives and global health. It is a call to action for continued collaboration, investment, and unwavering commitment to the cause of universal immunization, ensuring that no child is left behind in the fight against preventable diseases.
Ahead in the news, TRAI has released recommendations on telecommunication infrastructure sharing, spectrum sharing, and spectrum leasing. Before proceeding, first let's know about the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, or TRAI. The authority was established in the year 1997 by the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India Act 1997. It holds the objective to provide a fair and transparent policy environment which promotes a level playing field and facilitates fair competition in telecommunications sector of India. Now coming back to the news, at present only spectrum trading and intra-band spectrum sharing are permitted in India. Spectrum refers to the radio frequencies allowed to the mobile industry and other sectors for communication over the airwaves. However, the recently enacted Telecommunications Act of 2023 empowered the central government to permit the sharing, trading, leasing, and surrender of assigned spectrum. TRAI's recent recommendations are on the Department of Telecommunications proposal to allow sharing of all kinds of telecom infrastructure and network elements. These recommendations address crucial issues. For example, the distinction between active and passive infrastructure sharing, as well as ambiguities in provisions related to infrastructure sharing. Among the key recommendations, TRAI suggests that licensees should be allowed to share passive infrastructure such as buildings and towers. Furthermore, infrastructure built using the Digital Bharat Nidhi should be mandated to allow roaming to other service providers in remote areas for 3 years. Significantly, TRAI also recommends permitting spectrum leasing and inter-band spectrum sharing for efficient utilization of the scarce spectrum. The adoption of these recommendations hold profound significance for the telecom industry and consumers alike. It will help telecom companies improve their cost efficiencies and time to market while also facilitating the extension of services to underserved areas. Ultimately, these measures aim to ease the connectivity issues faced by subscribers across the country. The place in news for today is Kenya with its capital Nairobi. It is in the news as recently, heavy rains in the capital city have resulted in devastating floods. Kenya lies on the East Africa coast, bordered by the Indian Ocean to the southeast. Its political boundaries include Somalia to the east, Ethiopia and South Sudan to the north, and Uganda and Tanzania to the west and south respectively. When it comes to its geographical features, Kenya is a country of remarkable diversity. The majestic Mount Kenya, the second highest mountain in Africa, towers over the landscape, while the Ebida Range and Mau Escarpment add to the country's rugged beauty. Major rivers such as Athi and Tana crisscross the nation, and the mighty Lake Victoria graces its western border. Kenya is bisected horizontally by the equator, and also the Great Rift Valley passes through it.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. Recently, a candidate was elected unopposed to the Lok Sabha as the nomination papers of the opposite candidate was rejected by the returning officer. Section 33 of the Representation of the People Act 1951 contains the requirements for a valid nomination. The people of the Depot constituency have been demanding the implementation of Article 244 Clause A of the Constitution. Article 244 Clause A was inserted by the 22nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1969. It enables the formation of an autonomous state comprising certain tribal areas in Assam. PayU has received an in-principle approval from the Reserve Bank of India to operate as a payment aggregator. The payment aggregator is a financial technology company that simplifies the process of accepting electronic payments for businesses. The Indian Air Force has successfully tested a new version of a medium-range ballistic missile, the Crystal Maze-2 aka ROCKS. It is a medium-range ballistic missile developed by Israel. Its strike range is of over 250 kilometers. The Supreme Court has stayed construction of 4 proposed dams inside KWS in Haryana's Yamunanagar district. Kalisar Wildlife Sanctuary is at the junction of the states of Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. The Global Network Against Food Crisis launched the Global Report on Food Crisis, which is produced annually by the Food Security Information Network. The GNAFC was launched in 2016 by the European Union, the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization and the World Food Programme. NASA's Voyager 1 resumed sending engineering updates to Earth. Earlier, it stopped sending data back to Earth from November 2023. Voyager 1 was launched in 1977 to fly by Jupiter and Saturn. This probe is now in interstellar space, the region outside the heliopause. 4 sympathetic solar flares erupted simultaneously was captured by NASA. These sympathetic solar flares are caused by multiple eruptions across the Sun's magnetic fields, linked by massive magnetic field loops that lie above the solar surface. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. We appreciate your company. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solution to today's quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description.